later at 3. Another game later tonight. Then the semifinals up on Wednesday. Championship game scheduled for Sunday, and just a busy time of year.
All right, the basketball is in the air. Madison Kellyan, 5'6" graduate student out of Tennessee Tech, and has a great background with Julie Folks, and she got that opening tap, and Marshall now working offensively here for the first time today, and from the outside, shot won't go for Kellyan. Kellyan had 6 points in that loss to Toledo. Now it's NKU for the first time on the offensive end.
Marshall working in a zone.
From the outside, gunning up the 3, and unable to get it to go is J.C. Jones, but NKU will have another opportunity here. And from the outside, shot is up and good. Halle Idowu makes it go. Idowu averaged 10.5 a game and 4.5 rebounds through 2. C.C. Mays off a big-time game, and Mays works hard and scores. Mays had 20 points, James, a career high in that game against the Rockets.
Averaging almost a double-double to start the season, 20 and 9 in that win, but really strong there on the second effort to put it back up and in.
Anna Hamilton will kick it back outside. That shot will be short there by Macy Blevins, and Blevins a preseason All-Horizon League second-team pick. Aislinn Hayes for Marshall, a first-team Sunbelt Conference selection. Down low, nice shot off the glass and in by Abby Walterman. Walterman coming from IU Indy, and she gets it to go. She had coming in averaging 6.5 a game.
Really good entry pass there. Had position on the block, didn't even move the ball, just straight in and off the glass. So 4-2 game here between the Herd and NKU. Meredith Mayer. Now here's a near takeaway, and Mays will save it. Time running out. C.C. Mays can't get it to drop, and gathering the rebound there is Walterman. Across the timeline comes J.C. Jones. Good ball movement here by NKU, and down low, Halle Idowu makes it go. Good job there. Marshall in a 2-3 zone matchup. When the high play came, they come off the short corner, gave her the nice lane to the basket.
C.C. Mays attacking, and then kicks it to Meredith Mayer, and Mayer will deliver.
Good job there attacking the elbow. Brought the help side defense across, kicks it out in the corner for the wide open look.
Julie Folks telling me the other day, the game of Meredith Mayer just continues to mature. Young lady out of Fairmont Senior High School, the Friendly City, and Idowu having a big opening quarter, James.
Really good job there getting to the high post on the 2-3 zone, and then she got a mismatch and gave her that drive lane to the left side.
She has 6 of her team's 8. That one rims out for Mayer. Idowu gathering the rebound, bounce pass, and Mayer stepped in front of it in a scramble now. And we'll jump it up here, and NKU will have it. Alternating possession. Old school, right? Jump it up.
Jump it up. You talk about Idowu. Had a really good start to the season. 18 points, 3 rebounds in that loss to Middle Tennessee State, 79-58. And then 3 points and 6 boards in that loss to UK when they fell 70-41 last time out.
Felissa Lacey, who hails from nearby Charleston, West Virginia, played at George Washington High School. Number 2 has entered for NKU. That shot rattles around and won't go. C.C. Mays penetrates through the lane and cannot get it to drop. Idowu comes up with it for NKU. 8-5 advantage. This is Lacey. Idowu up and in.
Everything has worked for Idowu. Working that high post that time,
Marshall cut her off, forced her back left, but she got the nice finish there from about 6.
Leosha Marignay into the game for Marshall. Where's number 13, sophomore out of Fresno, California. Falling down is Mayer and getting fouled.
Great job there on the catch and release that got it up and through the contact. A big lift there for the Thundering Herd, who's struggling from the field early on. 3 of 9, but a big one there for Mayer and a chance for a 4-point play.
Macy Blevins committing the foul. That'll be her first, team foul number 1. And it is a 4-point play for the standout junior from Fairmont, who has 7 of her team's 9. 10-9 game here inside the historic Cam Henderson Center with James Collier, our great ESPN Plus crew. Mark Martin, delighted to have all of you with us from the free throw line. Macy Blevins drops it in. Blevins, still her junior year, averaged 12.8 a game, 41 threes.
Also led the team in free throw percentage, nearly 84% free throw shooter last season.
Started her career at Western Kentucky and had a phenomenal high school career at Wayne County High School. Got a break in the action here, 4:45 to go, 12-9 lead. Great to have you with us as Northern Kentucky with the basketball and the lead at 12-9, and ball goes out of bounds, and it will stay with NKU. We talk about the career of Jeff Hands, and he spent a lot of time at Northern Kentucky with Nancy Winsdale, ranked 3rd in wins, 9th in winning percentage among active NCAA Division II women's basketball coaches, 5th in wins, 21st in winning percentage. At the time of her retirement, what a career she had.
Well, without a doubt. It's just a legendary name that you hear in women's college athletics for sure.
Making the move, and they're going to have a travel here. And it will be Marshall's basketball. Meredith Mayer will trigger it in.
Mayer with a hot start here. 2 of the 3 Marshall baskets that have been made have gone from her, both of those triples. I'll catch that one on J.C. Jones on the hand check out top.
That will be her first. That will be team foul number 2. Mayer will fire it in to Kellyan. C.C. Mays wanting to take the step, and she will draw the foul.
Great job there by Kellyan to get that screen at the high post on the left side that allowed Mays to pop through. She had an open look for a 3, found a driving lane she was going to attack with, and draws the foul. So Jones, a quick pair there.
Mays into Kellyan. Here is Mayer, straightaway 3. Can't get it to drop. Rebound corralled there by C.C. Mays, and now down low. Marignay goes with the hoop. Leosha Marignay, nice play.
Nice find there to find her on the block right side. A little bit of a deflected ball, but she gathers it and finishes strong at the rack.
Again, a 6'3" sophomore, the Reedley College, grew up in Fresno, California, high school valedictorian. Free throw is no good, and the rebound was pulled down there by NKU. Lacey. Now they get it out into the hands of Anna Hamilton. Hamilton has checked in. She wears number 12. From the corner, shot no good. Marshall on the move.
Marshall, really good job there taking away, denying those high posts, the entry passes that had gone so well for NKU and all their possessions.
Maya Meredith into the game. She's number 5. And speaking of Meredith Mayer driving and scoring.
Had two options there for Mayer. She could entry in on the post or take the dribble drive lane that was given there. She got the one-on-one with a nice attack.
From the outside, here's Lacey firing it up near her hometown of Charleston. Marshall with this 13-12 lead. I believe the foul was charged to Maya Meredith. That'll be her first.
So team foul number 5.
And Marshall has yet to commit a foul here. Shot is up and no good there by Marignay, so she'll get another opportunity here.
Missed the back end of that one on her last trip down.
She had some big minutes against Toledo. Misses the shot there, and Hayes gets the rebound. Blessing King, number 2, into the game for Marshall. Transfer from Moorhead, Peyton Ilderton. Young lady who brings a lot of energy out of Logan, West Virginia, into the lineup for the Thundering Herd.
King, you look at her averaging nearly 6 points and 11 rebounds last year at Moorhead State. 30 games she appeared in, started at 25 of those. Nearly a 59% field goal percentage last year at MSU.
Ilderton fires it out into the hands of Hayes. Hayes will wheel around, drive to the hoop, and they got a piece of it. And a foul, I believe, going to be called on Marshall here.
Yeah, they're going to get that one on Hayes.
That will be her first of the contest. Team foul number 1.
Kellyanne back in, and she'll replace Hayes.
Now Marshall coming off that historic season a year ago under Kim Caldwell, and a little different when you start seeing the substitutions. It's not the fire drill it was under Julie Folks, who comes in here 400 victories in her amazing career, national championship, and going up against Jeff Hands, who knows all about national championships as well.
And one of only 8 head coaches in all the divisions with 400-plus wins in less than 20 seasons.
Kellyanne driving and scoring her first Marshall. The battles have been spread out over the years, James.
Yeah, back and forth. Again, last year, the trip up to Northern Kentucky, and Marshall just still trying to figure some stuff out very early in the season there under Kim Caldwell, but certainly the way they started, not how they finished, without a doubt.
So NKU working it here, and a 15-12 lead for the Herd, and a foul going to be called on Blessing King. King led the Ohio Valley Conference in rebounding, and Julie Folks is probably the fastest player out on the court. She's got Division I track fast.
And again, when you have someone out on the floor like that, it gives you so many options that you can do, not only offensively, but defensively, because of how you can move her around on the floor.
Anna Hamilton fires and connects. Big shot there by Hamilton to even the game at 15.
And that snapped a near 2-minute scoreless drought for the Norse.
And her first career start against Middle Tennessee, coming in averaging 5.5 a game. Went to Conner High School in Kentucky. Here is King on the move, and King can't get it to drop. Rebound by Walterman. From the corner, launching and unable to get it to go is Noelle Hubert, 5'11" sophomore from Burlington, Kentucky.
Really good look there on that quick pass down in the corner after the pressure came up off the zone for the wide open 3.
So Mayer is out of the game. Ilderton is out as well. Hayes is back into the contest. Mays comes back in. Hayes and Mays returning for the Thundering Herd. Tie game here in this opening quarter. Macy Blevins has it out front. And we'll go to Iwudu and a lane violation, James.
That's not a call you see a lot in basketball at all levels anymore. But sometimes there's some officials that is their signature. But, yeah, a 3-second violation there to get Marshall the ball back.
CC Mays was open, cannot leave her open, and she drills the three-pointer. She had 3 in that game against Toledo, and that gives Marshall the 18-15 advantage.
Yeah, 25% three-point shooter last year, averaging just under 6 a game.
Tough shot there for Blevins, and Marshall denies. Kellyan will direct it across the timeline. Aislinn Hayes. We go under a half minute to play here in this opening quarter. CC Mays off that three-pointer, and now goes to Hayes. Hayes driving and floats it up and gets it to go.
Nice move there out of the corner with a nice little teardrop right in front of the rim.
20-15. Last shot perhaps here for NKU, and the 3 hits the back of the iron, and that will do it. Marshall and NKU in an
slimy stuff it would leave behind, removing 99% of grease and food residue. That's why only Dawn is trusted to save wildlife.
Yeah.
I'd fly south for a clean like that.
Dawn Platinum, the better grease getter.
Start of the second quarter back inside here at the Cam Henderson Center, where Marshall a season ago was 11-1 here in the Cam, won the Sun Belt Conference regular season crown and the conference tournament championship, and then played in the NCAA tournament just the second time in school history they did so.
And it's something that you build off of stuff like that. That is building bricks that you can work off of, and Marshall and Julie Folks hopes that it continues moving forward.
CC Mays looking down low, trying to get it into the hands of Treshonda Williams. Treshondra Williams, 6'2", junior out of Flint, Michigan. In the lane and turning around and getting it to go. Wasn't sure. Iwudu drops it in. She's at 10, James.
Great job there getting it into the short corner. That allowed her to dive down. They got her the nice entry pass, and then she finishes at the rim.
Iwudu almost came up with a steal there, and in the process, she is fouled. And Treshondra Williams will be charged with the foul.
And we've talked about the two head coaches and how this is going to be a chess match. There in the timeout, head coach Jeff Hands making that adjustment after Marshall did a really good job in the first timeout of taking away the high post. That time, move the ball around, get it into the short corner, and then go back down inside.
Here's a pass that goes right into the hands of Williams, and then they get it into the hands of Mays, who negotiates in, and a whistle. Contact is made.
I like CC Mays' attack there. She had the position. She had a one-on-one, had a good angle at the basket, go right up there and try to draw contact, which she did.
So the foul going to be charged to Blevins. So that's 2 on Blevins. Blevins with a career-high 31 against Robert Morris in Horizon League play. So Mays will head to the line. And CC Mays gets it to go. She's got 6 now in the contest. She was a perfect 5 for 5 against Toledo on the road.
Yeah, she talked that one, and I heard as soon as it left her fingertips, she's like, oh, no, I didn't get that roll in there. Sometimes you got to encourage them to get where they need to go.
Second one is up and delivered in.
It's amazing how that confidence works with that first one. That second one, just put it up there with no worries whatsoever.
22-17 game. Now the North's back to work here. And reaching in there as they try to feed it to Halle Idowu. And a foul going to be called on Williams. And she's picked up a quick second, so she will head out.
And again, that's the pressure that Iwodu causes, understanding that you cannot allow her to catch that ball at the high post. She's been so devastating with it already with those 10 points.
So Marigne back into the game for Marshall Wares, number 13. From the corner, 3 on its way, and knock it through is Hamilton. That is her second of the contest, and it carves into that Marshall lead. Now 22-20, Herd advantage. Mays in the lane, a beauty by CC Mays.
And another finish at the rim. And just right now, the hot touch is through Mays, and Marshall doing a really good job. NKU really forcing the action, trying to speed Marshall up. Marshall taking its time, getting the look that it wants, and getting it into the hot hands of Mays.
I had a foul called as well there.
They got that one on Lacey.
Always quiet here.
Yeah, you got the tennis match quiet.
In the Cam Henderson Center. So 3-point play there by CC Mays. And Mays now up to 10 points in the game. So 2 10-point scorers in this contest. Lacey sends it out into the hands of Wolterman. And now here is Lacey driving and scoring.
Marshall slow to rotate back over on the pass that went opposite, and that gave Lacey that drive lane on the baseline.
Rigney hit with the foul. That's her first. So Lacey was a Class AAA first-team All-Stater in West Virginia under a great high school coach in Jamie Lemasters. And she gets the three-point play. She was the Mountain State Athletic Conference's Player of the Year, and again started her career at EKU and now at NKU. Got a WKU transfer on this NKU team as well.
Got all your Eastern, Western, Northern.
Get the alphabet in here of Kentucky schools. Great programs all the way around.
NKU's now switched into a 2-3.
There's Aislinn Hayes taking the step, and a collision there in the lane. Hayes a little slow here to get up. See who so they get the foul on Wolterman, the 6-foot junior out of Westchester, Ohio. She's an IU Indianapolis transfer. They have 2 on the team. J.C. Jones, the other.
So a tough spill there for Hayes as she comes back now with a pair of freebies.
Can't get the first to go through. Hayes was 3 of 6 at the line in the showdown with Toledo. Finished with 11 points. 35 minutes and 36 seconds in that game. Well, we get either of those to drop down here, so it stays at 25-23. From the corner and make it good for Lacey. You know, she's got a few folks in the house here today.
Absolutely. Great ball movement, getting it down into the corner. Marshall, again, trying to play so much pressure there in the middle. And just a wide open look for Lacey down in that corner.
She gives NKU the lead here, 26-25. And then looking to answer is Marshall.
Nice look down in the corner for Hayes. She dials up long distance.
It's her first 3 of the season. She's got 5 in the game.
And then Hamilton from the right elbow. Things picking up here over the last 2 minutes. Team's kind of finding the rhythm in this game.
Hamilton has 8, and Hayes can't get it to go, but she gets her own rebound, whips it out to CC Mays, who feeds down low, and then out to Meredith Mayer. And that is her third 3 of the game. 31-28. You said it, my man. Things are picking up.
All of that started because of the entry pass that went down to the post that brought the defense off, allowed Mayer to have that open look.
Shot up and rattles around and goes.
I don't know
what now.
I don't know if she's missed tonight.
Iwodu is money.
6 of 7 now.
31-30 game. Marshall back to work, and here's Mayer trying to use the glass just a little short. Wolterman gets the rebound. NKU on the attack, and Lacey looking to add to her totals here in her home state. Gets it to Iwudu, spins around and gets it to go through. Iwudu is lights out.
She's filling up the stat sheet. Just, again, everything she has done so far with such precision around the rim.
5'11" graduate student. Started her career at Northeastern, and CC Mays can't get it to drop. Rebound pulled down there by Kimora Morgan. Lacey will take it, dish it, down low, shot. Not going to go for the Norse, and Marshall comes away with the basketball. CC Mays hobbling up the court there a little bit, James.
Yeah, after taking that tough spill earlier, nice little step through on the Euro step there. Looked fine there.
So Hayes now with 7 in the game, and so May's going to head out.
And business insurance. At Encova, we're ready for what's next.
First-year head coach Julie Folks of Marshall. Her Marshall basketball team going up against Northern Kentucky. Jeff Hands, see him there. He was at Thomas More for 13 seasons, guided the Saints to 339 wins, 3 national championships, 2 at the NCAA Division III level and 1 at the NAI level, graduate of Wilmington. So they made every move you could, James. All that's left there, Thomas More, is D1.
Yeah, without a doubt. He was a 2-time national, had 2 National Players of the Year, a 3-time National Coach of the Year in 16, 19, and 22. He was an assistant there from 2008 to 2011, and then started at Indiana State as an assistant in 02 to 04.
That program has made all the moves. They went D3 to NAI and then to D2.
Yeah.
All right, so NKU has the basketball, and a player who's been absolutely money and continues to be so is Halle Idowu.
16 in the game.
Yeah, 8 here in this quarter after 8 in the first quarter. Peyton Ilderton back in the game for the Thundering Herd of Marshall.
NKU back to man-to-man defensive pressure.
Ashley Tudor's checked in for Marshall. Meredith Mayer can't get the shot to drop there. NKU with the 1-point lead. Nice pass, and it won't drop, though.
Great pitch ahead on the outlet to feed it to the backside there as Meredith was there, but couldn't finish it. And Iwudu will go to the free throw line.
Maya Meredith just missed that shot, and then Iwudu is going to go to the line here. Tudor committed the foul. So Iwudu at the free throw line looking for point number 17 and has it. Running out of room here on the sheet.
Yeah, no, it's this quarter's going to have to end, or I'm going to run out of space on my sheet as well. Again, averaging 10.5 a game, 4.5 rebounds, but she has just lit it up here. 18 points and 4 boards for the grad student out of Illinois.
So she was 2 of 4 heading into the game at the free throw line. Knocks down both right there. Gabby Rosano out of Mason, Ohio, home of Kings Island. 6'2" sophomore checking in, number 33 for NKU, averaging 5.5 a game, 28 games a year ago in which she appeared. Here's Tudor on the drive, and Ashley Tudor. And Tudor hits the deck hard.
Man, they fouled hard.
A big play underneath as Blessing King was posting up trying to get position. They go opposite of her and they get the dribble drive lane.
Look there, James.
So team foul number 5 against NKU as they get that one on Rosano, her second.
Tudor at the free throw line. Get the first to go down here.
Let's go, Ashley!
Marshall struggling from the charity stripe, 40%, now 4 of 10.
The lady who transferred from Radford to this program gets the second.
Played at Radford back in 21-22, averaging 8 points, 4.5 rebounds a game.
Norris with the basketball, and nice little pull up there by Hamilton on the baseline. Couldn't get it to go, but down low is Morgan, who will clean it up and put it through. Morgan's first basket of the game.
That's what you like to see as a coach. When you bring someone in off the bench, they go in and instantly put themselves into the scores column.
Meredith Mayer can't leave her open, and just had enough space there. And then Peyton Ilderton to Mayer, and Mayer will let it fly again, and this one will go.
You could see that when she was more in rhythm. The first one she caught it, she was a little bit off balance left, which is missed left. That time, got her feet set underneath her. Good pass, good look, good shot.
She has 4 threes in the game. Always love it when you see Ilderton passing it to Mayer. They were battling each other on the high school scene in a state championship game. Logan and Fairmont Senior, and they've been great teammates and have been great friends. Down low, up with a shot, and a good play. Rosano just never gave up.
No, just very patient there with the pressure coming, allowed everything to settle down. Got a nice spin there into the paint.
Now Marshall back to work here, trailing by 3. Blessing King dumping it off to Mayer. Now they'll get it into the hands of Hayes, who will drive and score.
Great entry there by Hayes. Found the dribble drive lane and attacked the rim.
A 1-point difference here between Marshall and NKU. And Norris with the basketball. Lacey with it. Alyssa Lacey, the Charleston native, nothing but net. Rattled it in. Her second 3 of the game.
And Marshall doing something a little different now with that 2-3 zone. They're using the opposite player at the top to sag back into the keyhole to take away that high post. That's allowing those skip passes to return quickly and giving those wing players those open threes.
Well, that was a beauty by Mayer that just rattles out. I mean, the rotation, the
everything
ball
was there, just didn't fall.
And on the other end, breaking loose and scoring will be Meredith for NKU.
Really good job transition there. Again, it's gone to the opposite side, and in a quick look there, Conference USA and MAC, and then after the switch over to Sunbelt, still those old MAC foes still kind of the thorn in the side of Marshall.
They still linger, don't they?
They're still there.
Madison Kellyan is into the contest. Here's Meredith Mayer out to Aislinn Hayes. Her 3 won't drop, and skying up and getting the rebound is Kamara Morgan. KU working with this 45-39 lead, and there's Morgan floating it up, but it wouldn't go. Mayer is there with the missed shot, and Marshall on the attack. Hayes driving, denied. Lacey comes away with the missed opportunity for the Herd.
That's just 2 trips, one for each, just playing a little too quick there, maybe getting out of rhythm for what they had started with earlier.
Well, Morgan looking for that first 3 of the season, and she's got it, nails it big time.
Jumps off the bench and gives you a quick 5 for Jeff Hans.
Aislinn Hayes. And a travel is going to be charged to Marignay, and the basketball goes back to NKU, who will be looking to produce a double-digit lead here.
And a really good job there by Idowu. Just a forearm in the back, setting up the position. Rigney had the position there on the block, just turned a little bit too quickly, trying to work around the taller player on the post.
Out front with it is Anna Hamilton. Hamilton coming in, averaging 5.5 a game. Carissa Lacey playing well here. Not far from home. And how about Morgan rifling it in? And that will do it. And NKU catching fire at the end of the second. And they take a 51-39 lead into the locker room. So we have hit halftime.
Away with 15 points. She got going there with the 4 threes, 2 in each quarter. They're going to need to lean on her a lot. But who's that other player that's going to step in here for the Herd?
All right, and it will be NKU to have the basketball to try to continue building on this lead that they mounted as that first half came to a close. And from the outside right away, Anna Hamilton firing up the three-pointer. Couldn't get it to go, but here is NKU. Only got another opportunity, but they turn it over on the walk.
Great job there by Mayer, just staying straight up against Idowu, making her make a decision with the basketball, and she dragged the foot as she tried to look over top of Mayer with those long arms.
Here is Meredith Mayer with the basketball. Terrific first half for the Fairmont native. Aislinn Hayes on the move. And speaking of terrific, what a terrific move.
Absolutely. They're doing a good job there. Marshall being patient. NKU, they're switching on every screen, so Marshall kept switching until it got the matchup that it wanted. Got Hayes on a smaller guard and was able to get the attack on the drive.
Hayes out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, now with 11 in the game. Almost got a piece of that one. Here's Iwudu, and she'll send it back outside, and boy, a tough shot there for Hamilton. Looked good and just rattles out of there. So now Marshall back on the attack, trying to get it down to single digits, but it won't go there for Blessing King. Back the other way comes NKU. And Hamilton, well, she couldn't get the three. She's going to try to get a two with the beauty of a move there to the hoop, but that one won't drop.
A nice job there by Mayer to step over, take away that penetration line that made her make an adjustment on her drive.
On the outside, Kellyan, her shot in and out. So Kellyan on the floor. Aislinn Hayes is out there. Chandra Williams, Meredith Mayer, and Blessing King. That's the five on the floor for Julie Fulks' crew. Proud graduate of Capital here in Columbus, Ohio.
Not to be confused with Capital in Charleston.
Outskirts of Capital. She loved sports. She said, she just loved recess, and that's where she just really fell in love with sports. And had some injuries along the way in her playing days. And definitely wanted to be a coach, and she is a dandy. Marshall happy to have her, and NKU happy to have Blevins, who knocks down the big three there to make it 54-41.
Good rotation, getting it back out top. There's, again, Marshall still trying to work out of that zone pressure.
Here is Hayes on the move. Going to be a whistle and a foul. Northern Kentucky with 7 threes here in the basketball game. So the foul is going to be charged to Anna Hamilton. That will be her first of the game. Team foul number 1. And that puts Aislinn Hayes to the line. Julie Fulks was telling me the other day, she just sees gaps in the defense. So she said maybe the best way to describe her is just slippery.
That was kind of the thing I was going to go with. Very slippery. She finds the smallest crease and attacks it. And the most important thing is that she sees something and she goes to it. She doesn't hesitate. That's what you like to see on an aggressive guard. Because if you have that hesitation, that closes up so quickly, and then you end up dribbling yourself into a double team.
Of course, her sister, Alasia, also on the team, fighting off some injuries right now. Shot won't go for NKU. Marshall with the basketball. In a 54-43 game. Hayes over to Mayer. Mayer lets it fly. That one high off the backboard. Good hustle by Hayes right in front of us. Chasing it down along with Hamilton. It will be NKU's ball.
And you can see Hayes right here in front of us. She's like, why did I grab the ball? She smacked it, trying to smack it off of the leg of Hamilton. Felt like she probably could have had a chance to keep that one in play.
We talked about Julie Fulks being a graduate of Capital, and Jeff Hands went to Wilmington. They're both members of the Ohio Athletic Conference. And those two have a lot.
They've been around each other for a
common.
while. There's an uncommon side. Idowu missing a shot at the rim.
And Marshall turns it over. Back it goes to Northern Kentucky.
7th turnover for Marshall in the game. Only 4 for the Norse.
Anna Hamilton, Kentucky native. Through 2 games, averaging 5.5. And there's Mayer with the steal. Feeds Hayes, and Hayes will put it up, and it won't go. Blessing King there with the rebound, and out it goes to Kellyan, who delivers the three-pointer.
Great job there of turning, looking. She saw the double team in front of her and found Kellyan wide open on the wing for the triple.
8-point game here. Crowd coming down now as Marshall chisels that lead down to single digits and trying to keep it there here on defense, but you got to keep an eye on Idowu, and she is tough in all facets and certainly down low.
And she got lost there on the baseline. Marshall was taking away Macy Blevins, who was flashing in at the high post, and Idowu wide open there on the baseline.
Meredith Mayer, a second time in this game in which she drains a three and gets fouled.
And just the catch and shoot of Mayer is so confident. Immediately catches, pops that up, and how many times you see a 4-point play opportunity once in a game, let alone twice?
From Meredith Mayer, opportunity here for a 4-point play once again in this game. Well, I mean, you know, I thought she was a great shooter last year. Now, watching her here this afternoon, just absolutely phenomenal, and can't get the free throw to go down.
Nearly a 39% three-point shooter last season.
And she did not shoot a free throw the other night, so that's her first of the contest. And who else but Idowu with another basket for NKU. 58-49 count. Here is Hayes. That was a nice-looking shot from our angle here. That just hit too hard on the back part of the iron. Back to work goes the Norse. The Norse and the Herd in this game, and Idowu now with 6 here in the third quarter of play. 60-49, and she has 24. And she has surpassed her career high, which she had at Middle Tennessee, of 18. Here's Mayer, boy, doing a nice job wheeling around, getting away from the defense, and Meredith Mayer with her second two-pointer of the game.
Nice job there, curling off the screen at the high post, and nice little feed into her, and Mayer finishes in stride.
Drop down!
Idowu fires it out into the hands of Blevins. Blevins to Morgan. Her shot won't go, and Mayer hit the floor there. She's up, and here comes Kellyan. Driving, and then back out. Down low. Turnaround shot, and a terrific play for Leosha Marignay. She has 4 in the game.
A very smart play there by Kellyan. Did not have the numbers, backs it back out like you want to see a good point guard do, and got you into a good look.
60-53 game, and how about Lacey?
12 points off the bench. 3 consecutive threes that she's hit since getting that three-point play when she entered the ball game.
It is 5 now for the season. Mayer to Hayes. Hayes pulls up short. Rebound by Hamilton. Marshall with some good pressure there on the prevent side, and then what a nice move there by Kellyan to put it through. She's got 5 here in the corner, 7 for the game.
Did a great job there defensively, stepping up there, taking off that dump that they were trying to get back to Idowu, and it was her stepping in front of that pass that leads to the transition basket on the other side.
All right, going to be some changes in the lineup when we come back. Jeff Hands will talk with his Northern Kentucky team. Julie Folks with her Marshall team.
Dell AI with Intel, so those who receive can find the joy of giving back.
Back to action here in the third quarter, and it's Northern Kentucky on top of Marshall. North with the basketball. Shot clock at 5, and Zano couldn't get it to go. Good D there by Marshall. Thundering Herd now on the offensive attack as we go under 3 minutes to play here inside the Cam Henderson Center in the third. Peyton Ilderton back in the game, feeding Blessing King. Take it away. Maya Meredith, and then Marshall right back with the steal.
Timberland Yeast has checked in for Marshall. Number 0, driving, and a nice play there by Hayes.
That's one thing you get when you're in a man-to-man defensive pressure. When Marshall sets it up, it can move those ball screens around and get that nice look for the dribble drive from the top.
Little down to 6 here now, and driving and unable to get it to fall is Morgan. Another opportunity here for Marshall. Hayes couldn't get it to drop, but how about Timberland Yeast?
Great job there fighting through the box out on the backside to, 1, get the ball, and then 2, get it back up through the contact. And a chance here to cut this to a 1-possession game. Marshall on a 6-0 run. Lacey called for the foul, her second. Team foul number 3.
East out of Harrodsburg, Kentucky, a redshirt freshman. Can't convert the three-point play, but down to a 4-point game here in this third quarter. Marshall's done a nice job fighting back, James.
Back in a 2-3 zone matchup, really getting active out on the perimeter. I believe they're trying to determine whether the ball hit the rim on that pass.
We never had possession of that ball.
So if the ball touches the rim, then it resets the play clock down to 20. That was the stoppage because now the play clock was, the shot clock, was down to 10. Now they put it back to 18. And now they have determined that it did not, so now they've got the shot clock back to 10. I did not appear that it hit anything other than the backboard on the pass attempt.
In our officials, Deanna Jackson, Timothy Green, Tracy Drake. An outstanding job here today. Basketball game inside the Cam Henderson Center. 8th meeting all time between these two programs, and just having to rifle up a shot there and to airmail that one's J.C. Jones.
Great job there defensively by Marshall, keeping everything pushed away from the three-point line. I think NKU may have just, even the stoppage there with the shot clock, might have lost track of the time because it just did not appear that they were in control of that offensive set.
Shot up and good for Hayes.
Nice job penetrating and then a spin to the left. And Marshall has it cut to 2.
63-61. Hayes was 17 in the game. Maya Meredith driving. Her shot wouldn't fall. Walterman trying to make the save there for NKU, unable to do so.
And Marshall doing such a great job defensively, really forcing everything away from the high post where NKU had so much success there in that opening half.
A great player for Marshall last couple of seasons, Abby Beeman, as Yeast fires and hits the 3 to give Marshall the lead.
And Marshall taking a little page out of the NKU's book. High post, look opposite, wide open triple.
I was going to say Abby Beeman, she's now playing in Iceland. She's watching, and she certainly loved that shot by Yeast. Shot up good by Maya Meredith. And back on top is NKU, down to the final seconds of this exciting third quarter.
Yeah, that was Ilderton just got called with a carry right in front of the official after coming across mid-court.
The 4.9 on the clock. Here comes NKU. With it is J.C. Jones, and the rebound by Marshall, and that will do it. Stay right where you are. An exciting one here at the Cam Henderson Center. Timberland Yeast with the 3. Marshall, the Thundering Herd of Marshall. Meredith Mayer going to be the trigger here for the Thundering Herd. She has 18. Aislinn Hayes has 20 for Marshall. Biggest lead of the game, 13 by NKU. Marshall got a lead there right at the end of the third, and the North's leading it by 1 as we begin the fourth. Hope it's as exciting as that,
that
third quarter was.
25-14 for Marshall. Racing that 13-point deficit was back in the second quarter.
And now here comes NKU, and a nice drive there by Macy Blevins, showing why she's a preseason honoree in the Horizon League.
Really good job on the baseline there, just taking the attack lane and finishing off the window.
She has 9, Meredith Mayer. She's been red hot from the three-point line with 5. And here's a nice job defensively by Abby Walterman, the 6-foot junior out of Westchester, Ohio. Here is Meredith putting up the shot, or check that. Kimora Morgan up with the shot there. Marshall back with it. Down 3. We'll give and go there. Kelly into Marigny.
Really good job there by Marigny to get position, then try to feed it back to Kellyan on the drive there and pick up the foul.
Leosha Marigny, 6'3", sophomore, again out of Fresno. Reedley College, Roosevelt High School, again the valedictorian, and up and in.
It's her first free throw of the season, missed 3 opportunities there in the first quarter.
Marigny knocks them both down.
Well, that was the one thing you and I were talking about coming out of the break. That's been the biggest bugaboo here today for Marshall, has been free throw shooting, now 9 of 17 for a team that was coming in after hitting 75% and that loss to Toledo, going 12 of 16 from the line.
And Marshall has gotten to the line. Meanwhile, Northern Kentucky just 3 times have made all 3. Marigny makes them there. 67-66, shot no good. Meredith Mayer chases down the missed shot by the Norse, and a beautiful feed to Aislinn Hayes. Was that Hayes?
No, that was Yeast.
Yeah, Yeast. Timberland Yeast.
And Marshall takes the lead. Marshall switched things up. They're going with a run and jump. NKU got to look off the side, but the deflected ball, Mayer takes it and just out in space and runs the transition offense at its best.
He got blocked there, and Yeast driving through. So on the floor right now is number 0, not number 10, with the 1 and the 0.
So Pacheco whistled for the foul, her first team's first.
Nini Pacheco into the game for Marshall, 6'1" junior, Harrison, New Jersey. So at the line for NKU is Halle Idowu, who has been absolutely terrific in this game. She's 24 at the moment, and this is on the free throw attempt. Another one coming.
First missed free throw tonight. She's only missed 2 field goals from her 13 that she's attempted. Everything she's put up tonight has gone down.
The 25 now in the game makes it a 68-68 contest.
Anna Hamilton returning for Abby Walterman, the freshman out of Hebron, Kentucky, up in northern Kentucky there.
Meredith Mayer wheels around, and she decides she'll pop it.
They're going to get Morgan on the hold there if she was trying to go for the rebound on the baseline. So the team's second of the quarter.
Madison Killian, great basketball IQ. She brings it in. Marshall turns it over. Here comes NKU. Idowu putting it up, and that one rolls around back of the iron. Mayer had her hand on it, and I think it's going to go off of NKU.
Marshall doing a good job of making certain to get multiple bodies anytime that Idowu gets to the basketball. I think we got a spill on the floor on the near side, on the courtside seats. .734 to a finish. Marcus, 7:34 may not be enough with the way this one's played out here. This has been a fun basketball game back and forth between these two teams.
Marshall has climbed back from a 13-point deficit. 68-68 tie at the moment. Again, we have not seen CC Mays in the second half, James.
And that's something that is going to be a big piece of the puzzle for this Thundering Herd team. But we asked the question, who was going to be the player that was going to step up? Hayes has been big for Marshall here with 20 points, her and Meredith Mayer. And then Kelleon I've really been pleased the way she's handled the pressure. On the defensive side of things, has forced a couple of deflections. It's led to turnovers. But offensively, she's taking the attack lanes if they're there. If not, pull it back out, run some offense.
Let me get Northern Kentucky coming off a loss to Kentucky. And, of course, the opener against Middle Tennessee and Jeff Hands' team, in that Kentucky game, they only had 10 turnovers. At the moment, Marshall with 11 and NKU with 8.
Biggest thing against that Kentucky matchup, they got dominated in the paint. 42 points in the paint for the Cats.
Hayes in all kinds of trouble, and Julie Folks got the timeout.
You were in danger of two things happening there. 3 seconds, which we've already had called once, and Jeff Hands coming out saying, how do we not get a travel? There was the other side.
So we have a break in the action, a tie.
Low rates on a new Subaru Outback for a limited time.
Marshall with the basketball in a tie game here. Meredith Mayer leading the way. She has 20. Aislinn Hayes has 17. CC Mays, who went out hobbling, has 10 in the game. Have not had a chance to see her in the second half. Here's Mayer getting loose. Can't get the three-pointer to go. Nice rebound there by Pacheco, and Marshall will go at it again here offensively. Kelleon. Back to Hayes. Hayes wheeling and working there against Hamilton, and NKU will come away with the basketball.
Good job forcing her, making her go back left there and got her stuck underneath the backboard.
Kelleon has 7 in the game, 6 for Marigny, and a miss by NKU. So Marshall back to work here again. The East has 4 in the game. We thought the East had gotten a 3. We have since discovered they only gave her a 2, but she's got 4 in the game. So both teams right now, James, a little empty here on the offensive end.
After that last time out, neither's looked really solid on either end of the floor.
Lacey and Iwodu. You knew she wasn't going to be silent for long.
Good job there, going baseline, pulling the help side defense off of Iwodu, and then that gives her that little 8-10 footer that she just seems like she has money with.
Okay. Game high scoring honors at the moment with 27. She had 8 in the first quarter, 8 in the second quarter. Finished the third with a 6, and Mayer passing it down low. Pacheco couldn't get her shot to go. She's looking for her first bucket in a Marshall uniform. Lacey firing it over, and Hamilton could not hang on.
You go back to that last drive there by Mayer. She did a great job of getting the attack line that brought the help side to get Pacheco open. And again, that first bucket is always the most difficult one to get to go down. After that, the nerves kind of settle and you just go back to it. But Marshall forcing getting the NKU team to get an unforced error there on that sloppy pass over the top.
A great effort there by Hamilton. So Leosha Marigny has checked back in, and also into the game for the first time, Cassie Ingram, number 24, out of King High School in Cincinnati.
Nice entry pass there from Mayer into Marigny, who felt the pressure on the right side, comes back with the left-handed hook shot.
Marigny now with 8 in the game. The sophomore. Cassie Ingram played 3 minutes, 16 seconds in the loss to Toledo. Here's Lacey looking for a big three. Couldn't get it to fall through. Marshall, a chance to take the lead. Mayer in the corner. Skip pass to King. Blessing King, the junior, who started her career at Moorhead. Now here's Ingram on the move. Get it to Mayer. Into the corner, and Kellyan's shot is good. Madison Kellyan, second three of the game. She's in double figures, and Marshall on top.
And all of that started because she came and got the ball when that pass kicked away from King and nearly broke everything down. She came, got the ball, got him back in an offense, and then got the great look from the corner.
Iwudu driving against Marigny, and Marigny does a nice job there defensively. No call. And here comes Marshall looking to add to the three-point lead. Mayer with the reverse hand. Couldn't get it to go. Ingram trying to save it there.
That's one. Meredith probably had a good idea, but probably rather go with that reverse, go underneath, kick it back out, and get a good look.
All right, NKU and Marshall in a dandy here.
Platinum, the better grease getter.
Well, what more would you expect in a game with two first-year head coaches who have just unbelievable resumes? And it's a three-point Kentucky team trying to tie Julie Fulks' Marshall squad. Will they get it to within one as Iwudu continues her absolute assault on the scorebook?
Jeff Hanson's doing a great job moving her all over the floor. He's worked her high post, low post. They've taken her from the short corner. That time they got it to Blevins, and then she finishes with a nice dump underneath.
She has 29 in the game. Mayer couldn't get the shot from the corner to go down. That would have put Marshall up 4. There is a foul called here. 3.5 remaining in the basketball game. 8th meeting all time between the two. And Timberland East will check back in. Blessing King will head out.
That last foul on Hubert.
Well, Hubert out of Burlington, Kentucky, went to Notre Dame Academy. Shot from the corner, and this one will not fall for the Herb, but there is Marigny. Tough shot down low, and here comes Northern Kentucky. A chance to go back in front.
Marshall staying zone where it has been much of the ball game. And a great job there by Kelly, and again to take it away.
And then Hayes is stripped as she drives in. Macy Blevins knocked it away.
And that's something Marshall's done a good job of marking that high post after NKU was so successful with it in the first quarter. Using those players at the top when the ball goes opposite, that player drops in and takes away that passing lane. And we've seen Kelly and do it twice where she's turned it into transition baskets.
And Meredith Mayer rifling one down there to Kellyan and taken away by NKU. And from the corner and knocking down the shot is Noelle Hubert. Her first bucket of the game, and what a basket it is. Her second three of the season through 3 games. Here's Mayer looking for a three, and she's got it.
2 players in the same piece of real estate, which kind of added a little bit of separation for Mayer there in the corner. Just turned and fires it right back up.
Meredith Mayer, she wears 23, and she has 23 following that beauty from the corner. Now NKU down 1. We're going to go back in front. Maya Meredith with it. Maya Meredith denied there. Nice play by Marigny.
And that was a great job there by Mayer marking Idowu across the baseline. They were trying to get that dump as they drove from the top of the elbow, getting her open, and Mayer took that away and forced the tough shot there from NKU. Sunbelt Conference Soccer Tournament, it gets underway. Marshall going after ODU today at 3 o'clock. Then the other game in that bracket will be UCF and James Madison at 7 tonight. Then the semifinals Wednesday here at Hoops Family Field.
A good job there by Marshall. On the defensive side, working in was Blevins. And it's going to be Marshall's basketball here.
So we get the foul on Anna Hamilton. That's her second, team's 4. So now any foul did not start. So they've adjusted the game clock to 1:56. The foul stands on Anna Hamilton. So her second, team's fourth. Marshall's basketball on the baseline. Again, any more fouls against the Norse, Marshall will be shooting bonus.
Many thanks to Timothy Green for coming and explaining that to us. Georgia State, Coastal, Texas State, Appalachian State, Georgia Southern, Arkansas State, and South Alabama. They round out that preseason poll in the Sun Belt. Kellyan with it out front here, and the ball gets into the hands of Mary. It won't fall. Battle for the basketball. Maya Meredith snags it down. Again, Northern Kentucky picks 7th in the preseason Horizon League. Preseason favorite, Cleveland State. Tie game, 76-75. Actually, Marshall in the lead by 1. Iwodu down low, and Marigny got the ball loose.
You see the double team there on Idowu, and
the same
yes,
type of route. And
she's gone on to do great things already at Tennessee.
Yeah. I think there's just, when you look at it, and certainly we have 2 of them here today, they're just individuals who were born to coach, and I always love the term, they are a pure coach, and you have 2 battling it out here. And look at the scoreboard, 76-75.
Yeah, we said this was going to be a chess match back and forth, and we're getting down to that point where you're in your big pieces now, the ones that matter in that game of coming out with a victory.
2 coaches with national championship rings and battling here, looking for that first win at their new programs, and a nice tap in there by Meredith.
Blevins got away with a hook there as she turned and went around. Had a total hook, and then Meredith with a nice finish.
Driving is Hayes. Can't get it to drop. Marshall still with the basketball.
Julie Folks burning a timeout there as Hayes got pinned up in the corner.
77-76 game. So 17 on the Brad Smith, Christian Spears about Julie Folks, and Christina Roybal, who is the AD at NKU, and the hiring of Jeff Hands just said he stood out and just knows how to adapt to all levels. So the X's and O's never change. And here we are, his team up by 1. Marshall trying to retake the lead. Meredith Mayer got those feet set, and that one won't go. Rebound by King. Nice job by Blessing King. Marshall, another opportunity here offensively. Mayer on the drive. The layup good. 78-77. And a timeout on the floor with 18.4 to go. And Marshall with the 1-point lead following the layup by Meredith Mayer, the Fairmont native.
Idowu has to touch this basketball in this possession here. I think that they try to get something high post, look for a dump to her, and then if it's not there, go for a kick.
J.C. Jones in the game. Jones looking. Here's Iwodu. Iwodu, who's had the outstanding game. She puts it up, won't go. Maya Meredith with the rebound. Got it to go, and
no basket. No basket. We'll say the foul occurred before the basket went up. We're going to see a screen the screener. So you're going to try to screen first for Idowu to bring her back toward the basket. That doesn't happen, then you're going to see an inbound and a kick back to a corner. Either way, a shot for a win coming up for the Norse.
Blevins into Meredith. Blevins will fire. Blevins will hit it from the corner. Marshall was trying to get time called. And Macy Blevins drains a three-pointer from the corner